When most companies get sued, it's the company entity that gets sued. The LLC, the incorporated, the actual legal entity. But what if I told you that HR professionals, individual managers, executives, the actual individual people can sometimes also get sued for certain things? I know, it's scary, but it's important to know because unfortunately, it's the reality. And the reason why is because employment violations are almost always the result of actual people behavior, right? It's not companies that discriminate, it's individual people. It's not companies that retaliate, it's people, right? And so the law builds in a lot of opportunities for individual people to get sued. By the way, remember that everything we're going to talk about today is for general information only. This is not legal advice. If you are dealing with a situation that sounds like it touches on any of these issues, make sure you consult with a qualified professional who can evaluate your situation and give you legal advice in your situation. Let's talk about some of them. Wage and hour violations are probably some of the most common. And this is because under wage and hour law, the definition of employer is really, really broad. It actually includes individual managers themselves, the people who write the schedules, who direct an employee to go do something. The person who's actually directing and controlling the employee can also have their name put on the lawsuit. So if an employee hasn't been paid properly, it's pretty common to see the individual manager's name also named as a defendant on a lawsuit, which means that just the way the company needs to defend the lawsuit, so do you as the individual manager. Now, thankfully, there usually isn't individual liability for discrimination or retaliation claims under Title VII and the ADA. So think about, discrimination and retaliation because of race, color, religion, disability, sexual orientation, all the different classifications that are covered under there. Now, although there usually isn't individual liability for those types of claims, under federal law, there are many states that allow individual liability for similar claims brought under their own state laws. Some of them include California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Washington, maybe some others too. The theory is that these individual people aided or abetted in the discrimination or retaliation in and of itself. And so these laws say these people should be on the hook too because they are the ones that did the bad thing. Additionally, you can also be sued individually under the FMLA. Under the FMLA, employees often bring one of two claims, either an interference claim for interfering with the employee's right to take FMLA or to exercise their rights under FMLA, or a retaliation claim, which basically says, you did bad thing to me because I took FMLA, right? The concept is similar. It is individual people who often play the part in denying the FMLA or in interfering with their right to take the time off that they may need. By the way, if a lot of this sounds scary, this is partially why executives, directors, upper-level management are increasingly insisting on indemnity agreements when they sign on with the company. An agreement that says, if something bad happens in the course of my employment, if I make a mistake in the normal course of my employment, and it's just a normal, natural mistake, you, the company, agree to indemnify me for all of my legal fees, for any settlements, for any judgments that are issued against me, so that you have a little bit of security in knowing that you're not going to be on the hook for any little mistake that you might actually make. Now, it's not all doom and gloom here. Usually when a company is sued and the individual managers are also named alongside them in the lawsuit, the company just assumes the whole defense, right? The company will agree to have a united front, so they will pay for the lawyers, they will pay for the defense, they will help prep you, they will pay for the costs, the settlement, any judgment that gets issued. And in many ways, it often feels like the company has your back. Know that you're not always going to have to get your own lawyer. You're not always going to have to pony up your own fees or be out stuck in the cold by yourself defending this lawsuit. Now, usually when an individual manager is sued, it is most often the owners of the company or the direct manager who supervises the employee, but sometimes HR is also named too. Luckily, a little bit less commonly than some other folks, but still, HR can be sued just the same, a little bit more commonly when we're talking about FMLA things, because those are usually issues that are handled by HR, not the individual manager themselves. Now remember, if anything we've talked about sounds like an issue that you're dealing with and you need some support for your team in navigating it, the link is below to book a consultation with me. Thanks for watching.